Welcome to Stampin' Up with Sabrina. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really nice sized gift box and a 3-layered tag. I'm going to be using the envelope punch board. Now I'm doing this box 3 different ways. So I'm going to be doing 2 tutorial videos. This is the first one. And they're all basically the same, and then this one I will just write the measurements for the designer series paper. Okay, so let's begin. And what you're going to be needing for these boxes is 12 by 12 cardstock. And the first one, this one here, I used Whisper White, and then I used the Trim the Tree designer series pack for the paper on here. So I'm going to do another one where we're just using some designer series paper. And this is from the Regal's designer series paper pack. Okay, and this is the cherry cobbler. I chose the polka dot, and the other side has got a mini chevron pattern on it. And I'm going to be using the polka dot on the outside. Now this is not as heavy as cardstock is, but it's going to be it'll work just fine as long as you don't have a heavy gift to put inside. So how we're going to begin is we're going to be using our envelope punch board. And we don't need to cut anything from the paper. It's just going to be the full size. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to line up you want to make sure that you have your polka dot side. We're going to be flipping it back and forth, but to start off with, have the right side that you're going to be using up. And line up the corner of the paper at 3 inches. And you're going to punch, and you're going to score as far as you will go. And you have to be careful, this is not as thick as cardstock, so you don't want to press too firmly because you will break the paper. Okay, and now because we want to, I like to finish the line that I started with. So you can just work yourself around, but me, I have to complete this line. So I'm going to go for this corner here, which means we have to flip the paper. Okay, and we're going to line it up at 3 inches, and I'm going to complete that score line, and it will match up. It's hard to tell on this side here, but it did match up. It matches up with that. So, and then I'm going to punch that. Okay, so now I'm flipping it back to the right side, and I need to do that so that I know what I'm doing. So I want to punch this side now, which means that I will have to flip the paper over to the wrong side. Okay, and I'm going to line it up at 3 inches, punch, and then I want to finish the line on this side, so we're going back to the correct side of the paper, 3 inches, punch, and finish that score line that I started. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this corner here, which means we need to flip it over to the wrong side. 3 inches, punch, and score. Then I want to finish this side, so that means I'm going back to the correct side again. And I'm going to line it up at 3 inches, punch, and finish that score line. Okay, so now we have just 2 more sides left to do, and this needs to be on the wrong side. So we'll flip it over, 3 inches, punch, score, and then I want to go to this side here, which is the right side, and punch, and complete that score line. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell on the paper, but I have done all 4 of my sides. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to need to pull out our Simply Score board. Okay, and we're going to put it right to the edge here, and at 6 inches we're going to go down to to that V that we created, just down to that V, okay? Then we're going to go down here to that V, and we're going to continue that score line. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. So we're going from 6 inches to that V, and then from here down again. Then we're going to rotate the paper, and we're going to do exactly the same thing, just to where those lines intersect, those score lines intersect. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to fold those last score lines that we did, because it makes it a little easier, just up to the V, when we're putting the box together. Okay. Okay, now at this point, if you are making a cardstock version where you are stamping, and I'm going to be showing you that one a little later. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our scissors, oh sorry, no we're not. We're going to take our bone folder, and we're going to fold on our score lines. And be gentle, because this is just paper, it is not cardstock. Okay? So we fold it that way. And this way. And then this way. And this way. Okay, so you can see how we have this box starting to form like this. But I don't like these things in my boxes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our craft scissors, and just where the paper starts to curve up to the top, we are going to cut along there to that score line. And it's easier to see on the other side. And then on the other side of that V, we're going to cut right along that score line, all the way down there. And then here, we're going to cut down to there. So it'll look like that. Okay, and we're going to do that on all of our sides. So just cut to that line there, that fold line. Here we're going to cut right along. And we're going to cut down like so. And repeat. These scrap pieces you can always keep for punching. So this is how the piece looks, and I made a mistake here. You can see I have two here. There should be one on each side, but it doesn't really matter. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put sticky strip on these tabs. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we are going to take the backing off of our sticky strips, and we're going to put all the sides up together and adhere it. So there we have our basic box. And the next thing we're going to do is you're going to look at your box and you're going to decide which you prefer for the front of your box. And this is going to be my front. So the next thing we're going to do these, oh, I forgot to round the corners on this when we were putting it together. So let's see if we can do it now. You don't have to round the corners, but I just think it looks a little bit nicer, a little more finished. So let's see if I can find the front again. I think this is it. So the sides go in like this, and then we have the two top parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to punch a 1/4 inch hole in the tops of these, and I don't have my Stampin' Up! Punches yet. So you're going to line it up and punch, and then you're going to punch in the back as well. Alright, and then we're going to take some ribbon, and I'm going to use the Naturals cotton, the 7/8 inch, and so you want a fairly good piece to tie a bow, so that usually means about 2 feet when it's this wide. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is make our tag. So now we can get back to our box here, and we can put it on our ribbon. Now with the other box, I tied 2 ribbons in it to make it a fuller bow, but this is a wider ribbon, and so I think we can get away with just the 1 bow. Plus this paper is not as thick as cardstock, so you don't want to take your chances of ripping, and it's not staying in place here. And then cut off what you don't need from the ribbon. And there we have our box. So I'm going to make one more tutorial with the stamping one. So if you want to see both of them, look for it. This is number 1 and the next one will be number 2. So see you shortly. Bye for now.